So yeah, being an overthinker. This idea came to mind when I was having a conversation with my boyfriend last night. We'd smoked a little bit of weed, was a little bit high, not too high, like good level, and I don't smoke much anymore at all anyway. But yeah, we're playing a question game, and we do this quite often, not when we smoke, just any time, where we get up like questions to ask each other or journal prompts or something. We just talk with some like prompts. One of the questions was, what is most consuming your mind right now, or like something like that. And we had very, very different answers, and this was very eye-opening for me because I didn't even think about this before. He was like, honestly, nothing. I'm really clear-minded right now. I just don't really think of anything. And I was like, oh, wow. He was like, I think of you, my family, like training. That's about it. Nothing crazy, nothing like too much, too little. My answer was, I don't know, like everything, but also nothing, but also so much. And then I realized I'm never really not thinking about something. Like my mind is never not consumed by something. And this led me on to like, I must be a person that just has infinite thoughts and they just don't stop. Like my mind is going all day, and obviously there are moments that silence my mind sometimes, in like maybe a meditation or some things that will help me make sense of the thoughts, but most of the time they are just thoughts. Like too many thoughts. But this is when I was like, is this a good or a bad thing? So I was like, that is so cool that you're at a point where you have such a clear mind. Like that is a lot of people's end goal. But at the same time I was also like, I actually quite enjoy having so many thoughts and my mind being constant, because actually, let's go back this way. Come Molly. Point being, because like I come up with some great ideas, like I really do, and like my mind can get really creative and it can explore so many things. And even if it's not just thoughts about like what I'm doing that day or like a project that's coming up, if I have nothing on my mind will still be thinking elsewhere. It'll be thinking about life and death and like, I don't know, what, making sense of what I'm seeing and experiencing, and like conspiracies and spiritual, like anything. My mind is just questioning, thinking, obsessing, and honestly it's hard to maintain. Like it's really hard to maintain, but also, are you even supposed to maintain it? I think that's the beauty of having a mind like that, is that just got attacks. Yeah, like honestly I don't think there's any right and there's any wrong, and there's not one mind is better than the other. Like my mind is not better than my boyfriend's for having more thoughts, and his isn't better than mine for being so clear. We're just different. But I didn't realise that. I didn't realise how different we were, because yeah, I was like, I think I do enjoy this. Now I'm going to get onto is the painfully obsessive mind, painfully overthinking mind, too many thoughts that you just can't even make sense of one of them. And yeah, that side of being an overthinker, because I think there's just like, it is such a blessing, but it's also such a curse. Because for example, the last few days where I have been just so emotional and emotionally drained and trying to make sense of myself, but I can't even like put a finger on it. Like there are things that I know that I need to address within myself, things I know that I need to kind of like heal and fix, but also don't know where to start, don't know if it's actually an issue, don't know if it's just part of who I am. Like I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that there is, like I said at the beginning, not really any point where I am just, you know, clear, nothing. But it also, yeah, I'm just going to keep repeating myself now because it's the same point, isn't it? Right, what I think that I need to work on is, because I do think I enjoy this mind, I don't want to silence it. I don't want to like, you know, refrain from like following intuition and having all these, because I think whatever's going through my mind is real, but I feel like I need to look at it from above and separate myself and my thoughts and use it as guidance and not let it consume my entire identity, if that makes sense. And this is something that only people with these kind of minds and thoughts will have to do. And it kind of feels like such more of an effort to even exist. Because by the sounds of it, and maybe my boyfriend is just very lucky, but I'm sure I have some people in my life that I'm sure have minds like his, that are just chilling and are just cruising through. And obviously he has moments. We always talk about like never being at our fullest potential yet, and he's got so much work that he wants to do on his mind and everything. But the fact that he can confidently say like, yeah, right now my mind is just so clear. I've never ever had a point where I was like that. I've had points where I can say, yeah, I'm extremely happy, but even those points where I'm extremely happy, my mind is still going 1,000 miles an hour every day. It's more just with happy thoughts. So I'm just quite interested now. I'm quite interested in learning how to maintain this, because it's crazy. Like, I can sit there staring out the car window on a drive and I am never bored. I always have said this, that I'm never bored. There's always something going on in my mind. There's always something to entertain myself with, which I think is amazing. But yeah, it can be a curse if that noise and if your thoughts become negative, and if you don't know how to separate yourself from them, which is what I struggle with. Yeah, there's just so much to learn and so much to be done, and it kind of feels like such an effort, but I do think that's just part of my human experience. That's part of what journey I'm supposed to go on. Obviously, it's just like sometimes I just wish it just wasn't like that, but I'm happy like that. I'm happy because I know that one of these thoughts that I have, one of these thoughts is going to be life-changing for me. I guess every single thought that we have is life-changing, but that's also why, oh my god, it kind of makes sense as to why I'm so like sporadic and I can't really stay in the same place for too long, and I always have to move around and always like searching for more and more answers and this and that, is obviously because my mind is never really at rest. It's never kind of satisfied, but I can satisfy it. This is what I'm just trying to work on, is satisfying it, and being a constant satisfied state. Why does the light go crazy? Yeah, I guess that's the goal, is to be at a really satisfied state where you can completely separate and detach from the thoughts, but also use them as guidance and a point of growth and learning, and that's the goal. Look how cute. We are going to Greece tomorrow with my boyfriend's family, so that'll be really fun, and it'll be nice to be in the warm sun again just for a few days.